Okay, first up for the week's reviews is going to be Everwood, The Weight of It All, book number 3, written by J.J. Thorne. It is 314 pages, $3.99. It's available on Kindle Limited, and here's the author's description. Into the Everwood Prep's dungeon dive is here. Closing towards the end of prep, Terrence and his team are now working harder than ever to rank up and progress in their affinities. When an old acquaintance decides to stand in their way, will the team be able to deal with the threat? Packs of monsters will stand in the way, but will their fellow students be their most significant burden to overcome? For Tom and his group, the death of their friend is only the beginning. They're ready to leave the dungeon for good, but will the dungeon let them? Will Omar lead the leader of the expedition? Find out in the latest installment of Weight of Online Everwood. Okay, I'll be honest, that novel description needs some work. It does describe multiple storylines, and there are basically two storylines here. One is just like a general higher end level dungeon diver group going on that's just continued through the series. That storyline is continuing here. It's there just to kind of give you, I think, some extra action and also indicators for what it's like to be a higher end adventure. I believe that storyline is going to be tying into the main one in book 4 in the series. We'll have to wait and see. With the main series, the main storyline still follows the same main character who's at that magical academy. And I think this, to me, is the best book in the series. Book 1 and 2 have been... they're fine. They're not like super amazing. They've had elements that I thought, oh, this has a lot of potential. And that potential is essentially kind of fulfilled here. This is probably the best paced of the 3 stories that are out currently. It has the most action and adventure, and it finally has the dungeon diving that I have thought it was going to have from the entire series when they mentioned dungeons. And it's a nice... good action adventure story. There's different kinds of conflicts where there's an actual antagonist to the story in the novel that the main characters have to face and oppose and overcome in whatever way they're going to do in the story. And it added some well-needed tension, because otherwise for books 1 and 2, it was a very slice of life, and that's not bad if you're okay with that. But there was always there's never any sense of like urgency or any kind of real threat to the characters. They just kind of went to the school, they learned about their powers, they went on occasional little dungeon runs, or had these little fights. And this one definitely has that and more. It has dungeon diving. It has a tournament competition, which has been teased in book 1 and 2, and it's actually happening here. And that those two elements combined added a lot more action and story, which I really personally appreciated, because it gave the characters the opportunity to show off the fruits of their training. The main character, how he's using his heavy ability, and in interesting ways and in critical ways to grow as a character, and also to show off to the power system and of course action and monsters and all the good stuff that I enjoy as a LitRPG reader. Overall, to me, it is again the best entry in the series. Easily read it in one sitting, because it was just, the pacing again was just much more compelling to enjoy. And I think it's also the highest rated book in the series. So for me, it's a score of 7.8 out of 10. That's really good. That's the highest score might be on any of the 3 books. That's Everwood, Weight of It All, with the score of 7.8 out of 10.